Okay, right now we've got 2 weeks left of school. It's really busy, and this is where I'm at. I have another week and a half to finish all this stuff, so it'll be crunch time, but it's getting there. Just wanted to do a really quick update. Last semester I was just busy and I forgot to do these videos, and I kind of missed out on just having just a record of how these things are going, and hopefully those of you who are watching find it interesting as well. This is the revolver right now I got here. I got the underlug installed. I cut it out, cut it to length. It's about 2 or 3 thousandths too long, but that's because I don't know if you can see that, but there are a couple machine marks. The machine does leave marks on it, so I left I think 2.5 thousandths on there, and I'll file that off. But trying to figure out what contour to put on the front. This is one right here. Just cut that away and make it more of a shape like that. Or this side, just kind of do just a little line down here. So I'm kind of thinking on it. I'm leaning toward this one, and also I'm going to see about slabbing the barrel. This also has to be, right now, if you see it, it's completely solid. I'm going to be milling in a channel right here so that it'll be able to close, because right now it won't close because the rod sticking out of the cylinder will not close because of this, so I have to make some clearance. The barrel's pretty much done in terms of machining. Now it's just a lot of polishing. But I wish I had done the video, but I was just really busy. The way you do that is you cut this into steps, and then you use a file, and while the machine is running, you file that smooth. So this is the basic contour. Right now it's just going to be time spent at the bench with just filing this out. And maybe I'll show that later if I have time. This thing was so hard during break that my file was a little bouncing off, so I annealed it. We have ovens here in the school, and the way you do that is I saved this. I'm about to chuck this soon, but basically this is like aluminum foil, but it's made with stainless steel, and you wrap this thing in there, and you bring it up to 1500 degrees, and depending on the size of your piece, you leave it in there different times, and you slowly let it cool, and what that does is it lets the metal relax. So now this metal is really soft. So now I'm very careful with that. That's why it's on this cloth, because it scratches very easily, but it also files very easily. And when I'm done with this, I have to reharden this. So I'll either color case harden it or heat treat it. So thinking about what to do with that. This is the safety right now. I think the only thing I have left to do on it is to mill out the back. As you can see, it moves backwards and forwards. And the reason I think I'm done, but I'm going to go in tomorrow and check. I think could even go a little bit further forward, so I'm not sure about putting in clearance. But I have one unmodified bolt, so you can see the difference. As you can see, that's been taken out. There's a hole drilled on top. That whole channel has been cut into the side, as well as all the clearance for it. If you pull this aside, as you can see, that's been cut. That channel's been cut away. So that's why I guess this is considered the hardest safety to install for the Mauser. But it's good. It's good experience, I guess, if you can do the hard one. This is my 700 disassembly tool, and you need this actually to take apart the bolt for a Remington 700. And this, what you do is you put the part in there, and this will keep tension on it. I haven't taken one apart yet, so I don't know. I don't own a 700, but we're going to be doing it in repair next semester, so you need this. And this is threaded differently. It goes on this side as well. And I'll be putting brass inserts on either side. And it's interesting too, just even about finish. The points that I got docked, I still got an A on this, but the points I got docked off on this was for appearance. I got all the machine marks out, but as you can see, it's not perfectly polished. I was just in a rush, and I said, you know what, everything else was to spec, so I just handed it in. I also left Dicom on there. I didn't even think about it, but the instructor was talking about it. And he said, well, look, you're supposed to do it as though you were handing it to a customer. And if you were, you did this for money, you would not hand a customer with Dicom on it, anything with Dicom on it. So I understand his point. This is the prototype of the knife that I'm doing. As you can see, I'm still in the process of doing it, but so far I've CNC'd out the rough blank. Now I'm doing it on a mill. Just kind of figuring out what blade, how to do a blade shape. The concept behind this knife is, and I've never seen this done before. If maybe it has been, but I've never seen it. So, but I thought the reason that I did this was when I was watching some special on knives, and they were saying that knives, the way they're designed, it's either good for stabbing or it's good for slashing, and it can't, most knives aren't good at both. So I decided, well, why don't I try and mess with this? So this has a handle that's curved, and the way this works, and right now I can't do it because these things are still in there, but you put your finger in here, and then you grab the rest of the hilt, and now that's good for stabbing. You've got a straight line. I'm going to actually have a reinforced spine up here that's integral to the blade, and it's going to be full tang. But that will allow for good thrusting power, because it lines up directly. But if you do want to slash with it, while your finger's still in here, you can slide it down, and once once this goes through, you put your finger in here, and then now you grab this knife. And because it has a curve, and the way the blade is shaped, it's good for slashing as well. But we'll be testing it. This is obviously just a prototype. I'm making it out of aluminum. It's easy to cut, easy to mold. Kind of figure out what the final blade shape is going to be on that, and there'll be a version 2.0 or whatever. Mess with the contours and stuff. But I just wanted something that I can just kind of play with and have in my hand. It's hard to kind of visualize it on paper sometimes. But these are and this is my buffing project. I buffed it again, and it came out pretty good. The only thing is, there must have been something on the wheel on the fine grit, because it left like little swirl marks, and so I'm gonna have to do this on the fine. I don't have to do the rough one, but I do have to do the fine one again tomorrow, or actually next week, and it'll be pretty busy. But anyway, I just wanted to give you some updates. Hope you found it interesting. When the semester's over and everything's done, I'll do a quick update too, of just how everything came out. Okay. Bye-bye. If you have any questions, please write them down below, and I'll try to answer them. Thanks.